Good morning, everyone, and
15
welcome to
minutes.
this month's California Brokers Business Accelerator, collectively featuring a panel of our California brokers, Tom Bullock, Jeff Green, Mary Jane Morris, and Omar Hellman. But before I hand over the spotlight, allow me to highlight a few special elements we have here at Allison James Estates and Homes. First, being our nationwide coaching program. This program caters to agents of all levels of production. If you want to be coached by a top producing agent, understand your weaknesses and how to overcome them while increasing your social media and marketing knowledge, this program is for you. The next two highlights I want to share with you are our Real Estate News and Broadcast Tuesdays and Fun Fact Fridays. Both are live on Facebook at 10 a.m. Now, I would like to say good morning to our awesome California brokers. Jeff, MJ, Omar, and Tom, welcome, brokers.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, hey, it's Jeff Green here, and I'm kind of facilitating this today. It's my turn, and I'm excited to let you guys know that we have a great group of collective wisdom here. Especially, we've got many years of collective wisdom, especially with Tom Bullock on the webinar. And we were just joking before we came on that Tom is probably going to talk about when he helped sell the pyramids, because he's been in real estate that long. But we're really glad to have everybody here. We're looking out over. What's that?
Excuse me, Jeff. Excuse me for interrupting, but they were pyramid conversions.
Oh, pyramid conversions. Yeah. So sitting here from our vantage point, we're kind of like looking over the vast amount of agents that have come in today. They're a part of this webinar, and we know that you're all going to have a lot to take away with you. And as we get started, I just want to tell you, everybody needs fresh ideas from time to time. And I always like to look at real estate like a car. Everybody drives a car. This is really easy to remember. When you're in the car, you have a rear view mirror. You need to look back behind you. One of the things you want to do is see what you've done in the past. Ask yourself the question, has it worked? Has it not worked? And the things that, a lot of agents never do that. They keep doing the same thing over and over again. It doesn't work, and they wonder why they're still frustrated. The other thing you want to do, looking back in your rearview mirror, is you want to source your business. Every year, you should look back over the last 12 months to 18 months and see, where did your business come from? A lot of agents are so busy closing the deal and dealing with all the administrative work, they don't take half hour or so and quantify where the results of their business originate from. When you do that, you can see what's working, what's not working. So looking at the side of the car, the side view, it's always good to look like when you're going down the road, and it's a safety thing. Look at what's going on next to you. Look at what your competition's doing. Look at what your peers are doing, and get a feeling of what's going on in the market around you. And then your forward view, you want to ask the question, where are you going? Do you know what your plans are for the future? Do you know what it's going to take you to get there? So I always like saying, looking forward, you have a navigation system, you have a front window. In your GPS of a car, it gives you the same things that you need in your real estate career. You need a travel plan. You need a stepped out plan of where you're going to go and how you're going to get there. It's not like get up in the morning and try to figure it out every day. You should have a map already ready for 2018. If you don't have a business plan yet, you're a little bit behind. Don't let that dissuade you. Go ahead and get a hold of your broker and ask for some advice on that. Another aspect of GPS is it gives you an analysis of where you are right now. You really need to know that. Where are you right now? How much money do you have to spend on advertising? How much time do you have? Do you have any staff, or are you working by yourself? What are your resources? GPS also tells you your time. It tells you the current time of what time it is, which a lot of agents, they don't even know what time it is. They don't know what the season is in the real estate market. Is it time for buyers, sellers? Is it what time is it? And also what your arrival time will be when you set your goal. So you need to know, if you make a goal to make $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, when are you going to hit that goal? What are the milestones, and what will indicate your progress? So that's a big bird's eye view, but I want to start off with, I'm not even going to pick somebody. I'm going to ask who wants to jump in first. Who'd like to jump in first here? Let's see who's excited this morning and wants to share with
Jeff, before you have somebody jump in, somebody's not muted. Can you guys make sure and just And then I'm going to mute myself.
Yeah, sometimes that extra, yeah, we should all mute ourselves when we're not talking.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Otherwise, I'm ready to jump in.
Well, jump on in. Let's hear it.
Good morning, everyone. MJ from Temecula. I have a very bad echo. Are you guys having that as well with me?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Can you hear me?
So
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, why don't we jump? Okay,
That's better.
go ahead. Okay, keep
Am
going.
I better? Thank you. I had to dial in this morning, so I have two speakers going, but I have it fixed now, I think. I wanted to talk this morning about niche marketing. The smallest niche can be the biggest moneymaker for you. Some of the niches that I'm familiar with and that I recommend the most often are, the most common one is a language-based niche. If you speak another language, if you are from a culture that often has special events and that sort of thing, you definitely want to be involved with those types of groups. I've also recommended military niche markets, working specifically the VA market. I recommend professional farms, which I just love, farms of CPAs and attorneys that will recommend business to you. I also, another market currently is all the past short sale people who completely short sales a few years ago. They should be coming out of their period where they weren't able to buy again, and they should be ready to go again. But an exciting one that we've had in this market, because we have a fabulous credit repair company here in our valley that's nationwide, a dedicated credit repair, and I've had them on before. But the credit challenged market, the thing I like about this particular niche is that it does not, this isn't credit consolidation. This is when you're ready to clean up, when your troubles are over and you're ready to clean up. In 3 to 6 months, they can bring you out. Every single time in my real estate career where I have posted an ad that said credit challenged okay because the seller was going to do a carryback, I will get 400 phone calls, just ridiculous number of people coming out of the woodwork. This includes renters, first-time home buyers, people who think they've done something to their credit that they're afraid to find out. So I have been recommending just recently the working again of the renters markets, farming apartment buildings, that sort of thing. I think these are exciting areas to focus on where you can really drill down without too much expense and make it your own. That was my ideas for today. I guess
yeah, that's a great set of ideas, and a lot of times you can get help from your title rep on getting data on those types of things. So, or if you need help, contact your brokers. They'll be happy to direct you to some resources, particularly things like Property Radar. Those type of tools are really good for niche farming. So, who'd like to go next?
You know, one thing I'm going to add to that is, Mary Jane, that when you're helping clients with credit repair or credit restoration, you just got to make sure that they're going to the right people, because there are a lot of companies out there that promise a number of things and they don't follow through on them. This is Omar Hellman, by the way, Los Angeles broker and Silicon Valley broker. I wanted to just point that out because it's really important to understand who they're using, just simply because of the fact that there are so many different companies that are making these promises of credit repair and credit restoration for your clients to be able to then purchase a property. It's really, really important that you navigate them to the right people you trust or have worked with in the past, or good referrals of people that you can point to.
If they do not have a Department of Justice license, which is renewed, investigated and renewed every single year, you should not be working with them at all. The company that I mentioned here absolutely does. Even our real estate licenses don't have to be updated every year. This license does. So this particular company I have a lot of faith in, but that's an excellent point, Omar. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. All right. Hey, why don't you just take it away, since you're You're live,
Okay.
Omar. Give us
Yeah, so
give us what's on your mind.
I would like to actually add to some of what you were saying previously with the similarities of a car and where you are going in your business and where you were. Now, one of the things that you said is you don't want to keep repeating where you have already been. You want to keep doing the same things over and over and expecting different results. That's something that needs to change. And obviously, there's one of the main things that I've learned in my career is there are successful people in this business that do a lot of business. You just simply have to model your business after those people. It's a very simple game if you can do that. It's not easy, but obviously it makes things easier. One of the things that they do, the most successful people do, is their morning routine. Building a business plan, having your daily schedule and so forth are all great. But without the morning routine, your day gets off to a somewhat of a bad start potentially. What I always suggest is looking at what some of the most successful people do in our business. And the most successful people, and I've looked at this on a number of different scales, and they start their morning with certain steps every single morning. It's consistency. They get up at a specific time. They have a specific routine that is followed every single day, and then they're always looking and prospecting for new business every single day. It's not like it's a once a week thing or once every few days type of thing. It is literally every single day. Now, can you mold yourself to be able to do that and model that type of business plan and that model of business? It can be a challenge, but if you do decide that you want to be successful in this business and in this industry, what will it take? It will take for you to constantly be working. And the first step in the morning is to get your mindset right and then put your schedule into play. If you're not doing that type of action every morning, your day then becomes somewhat stagnant. You don't know where your business is coming from potentially. You don't know, you may have some administrative things to do throughout the day and working on one or two files. But if you really want to excel and you want to have a lot of business and grow, the best strategy is to mold yourself after people who have done it and are currently doing it. And that's by setting a really good morning routine. Now, we have some examples of that. I can send you some details based on what I've seen and the things that we've researched. I'm sure all the other brokers have also seen the same. And certainly you can reach out to your own broker. But ultimately, setting your morning routine is probably the most important part of your day. And if you lag on that, then the rest of your day will probably have a lapse as well. So I wanted to share that with everybody.
That's a really, really good point. In fact, some people that have good routines outsell and outpace people that may have even better skills than them or have been in the business longer. And one thing I wanted to throw into that mix is there's a management idea that's referred to as the Parkinson's law. You may or may not have heard of that, but it's not to be confused with Parkinson's disease. It's the Parkinson's law, which states that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. So what happens with a lot of agents, they don't carve off a section of their day for prospecting, lead generation, follow-up. They start their day with activities that aren't as important, and then what happens is those activities grow into this monster that fills their whole day. Could be like a few simple administrative tasks. There's something to be said about forced deadlines, putting yourself on a deadline, completing tasks, even to the point of setting a timer. If you are going to be, let's say you're working on some administrative tasks, these are like, maybe it's processing email, set a timer. I'm only going to give myself 20 minutes to do this, or 30 minutes or whatever. And then you get into a situation where it forces you to be super efficient and also allows you to make room for those things that Omar is talking about, your money time, the first part of the day. So Very, very good point. Tom, what's on your mind?
Well, thank you, Jeff. I want to thank both Mary Jane and Omar. Their input here are so vitally important, as Jeff has so rudely referred. I've been doing this a while, and Mary Jane is exactly right. You need to build a niche market for yourself and just work it. Become good at it. Become the expert at it. And that certainly will help you in a part of your business be successful. Omar's input regarding scheduling is so vitally important, as he clearly pointed out. You'd need to do that each and every day. All of the top producers I know and have managed in the past, that's what they do. They come in at a certain hour early in the morning. They have their daily routine, and they do it each and every day. A lot of agents that I have managed in the past, they'll come in at noon, they'll come in at 10, they'll come in at various points of the day, but the top producers are there each and every day at the same time doing what they do each and every day. So all of that is so vitally important. What I wanted to kind of talk about and cover today is developing your business and developing habits that will make you successful. We all got into the real estate business at a certain point because we believed in ourselves. We believed that who we are, our personality, that we could be a success in this business and develop a strong, steady business. And that's absolutely true. Those of us that are in real estate, we have the persona, we have the personality and the people skills to be a success. And so what I would encourage is that you get out there and use those skills, use your persona, use your personality, develop a farm. Walking farms is not a sexy thing to do, but it works. I'm reminded of a story. I had this one agent, this is going back quite a few years ago. Yeah.
Tom, I understand those walking farms are sexy if it's you that's out there walking with,
Well, yeah. Yeah. It depends on what you're wearing. But, with you, Jeff, it could be a turnoff, but you never know, But when you're walking that farm, I had this agent going back quite a few years ago. He had the worst personality in the world. His people skills were almost zero. I mean, this guy was always getting into disagreements, arguments, and everything with the agents in the office. And I would get calls once in a while from clients regarding it. But the one thing this guy did right, each and every week, he walked his farm. He had 2 farms. He walked one on Monday, one on Wednesday, and then on Friday, he would, whatever he was doing an open house, he would walk that farm area and hand out flyers. He did a very good business, and he could have doubled his income. He had a healthy income. He could have doubled it if he only had a personality. So repetition, when you get out there and you do the farms, let people see you. Develop your, they get through conversation, they'll gain a trust in you. They'll like you. Walk that farm, get those names, let people know that you are the local expert for that neighborhood. Just last weekend, I had a couple come over, and she was a very successful new home sales agent, and she had a condo she owned downtown San Diego, and she's a fully licensed agent. Her husband is a broker, fully licensed, and when she sold her condo, she went to the local neighborhood expert and hired him to list their property and sell their property, which he did. But her comment to me was, I always tell people to get the local expert, get the person whose face in your neighborhood, and bring them in to do a listing presentation. And that's the position you want to find yourself in. You want to become known as the local expert. And the way to do that is to walk your farms at least once a week, at least 2 to 3 times a month, and get your picture out there, get your name out there. Go out on a Saturday when people are home so you can talk to them. Use your personality, use your persona to develop that business. Another method
Hey,
that
Tom?
I found to be very...
Oh,
yeah?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
okay,
sorry. I thought you were I'm sorry, I thought I was catching you between sentences there. One of the techniques that I've been teaching the coaching students is the Red Wagon Program, which is to collect food for the food bank. When you're knocking on doors, it gives you something else to talk about, and you make a nice donation every week to the food bank.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, and other ideas. Do shredding events for the neighborhood. I did the branch I was managing a few years back. We did a shredding event where people could bring in their documents that they wish, their important documents they wish to shred. And the first year we brought a truck in, we did the shredding event, and I think maybe a quarter to a half of the truck was filled. The second year, the entire truck was, they shredded, the entire truck was filled. So the third year on, we ended up having to limit the number of documents they could bring in for shredding to 2 boxes. So that shows you kind of the event and how people kind of gravitate to it. And it took us 3 years, but we would have people lined up. And while people were lined up to shred their documents, the agents were walking up and down the line, handing out their cards, talking to the people, and we would get business off of that. So local neighborhood events can be a big, big deal. Lastly, join clubs. If you're a golf enthusiast, a tennis enthusiast, join golf clubs, men's clubs, women's clubs, join the tennis clubs as well. If you're a car enthusiast, something you like to do, like if you drive a Corvette, join the Corvette club. Get in there, and don't go in and say, hey, I'm a realtor and I'm a member of the club, so now you use me. Just go in there and use your personality. People will find out what you do. They'll start asking you questions, and as time evolves, you will get those people. And then again, you're building personal relationships, which is exactly what you want to do. Through referrals, through new clients buying and selling, family members who are buying and selling, it opens up a whole new avenue for you. So again, this is my input for the day. I really believe in the personal contact, getting face-to-face with people, letting them get to know you, like you, and that is one way to build, I think, a solid business, a solid foundation. So when the market does this roller coaster thing, you can build somewhat of a steady income even in the bad times. So Jeff, I want to thank you for this opportunity. You've been a stellar broker, and I don't care what Mary Jane says about you.
Please.
I still like it.
Yeah, hey, so Tom, how does that work being in the smart car club? How's that work? Because you get a lot of
Yeah, I could explain it to you, Jeff, but I don't think you would understand.
I probably wouldn't. So let's kind of do a little wrap here. Maybe some of the brokers will chime in. We'll do a little wrap on this, and then we'll wrap this up. We'll throw it open for just a few minutes of Q&A. We want to get done with this at the bottom of the hour so that we can get you guys back to work. So just to kind of wrap up, I just want to say that all these ideas are really good, and be sure that you don't get in the paralysis of analysis and you stop and you say, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? There are a lot of ways to start your business. There's a lot of prospecting methods that cost you virtually nothing, where all you need is your business card and some shoe leather. You can get out and do it. If you want to explore other possibilities, or just talk to your brokers, there's all kinds of things from the internet all the way to joining clubs and all that. But whatever you do, create a system. If your goal is to join the country club and the Corvette club and all that, make yourself a system and make a commitment to some minimum standards. Make sure you're going to attend X amount of meetings a year. You're going to go to X amount of events. Don't just join and then forget about it and wander off and do something else. So make a system out of everything. You really want to do that. So do any of the other brokers have anything to say in terms of conclusory remarks before we throw it open for any Q&A?
My wrap-up thought was, when you just off of what you just said, when I first got in the business and my dad had brought me in, and it seemed to me there were 50 ways to market, and I said to him, how do I decide? And he said, pick 3 and keep doing them. And so I've built my entire real estate career off of pick 3 and keep doing them.
Omar, you got any closing thoughts for us?
Most importantly, out of everything that the brokers have said, it's really do what works for you. Obviously there are a number of different strategies that can help you gain better traction for 2018. But ultimately, do what works for you. Find your go-to for what is going to get you more business. If it's working your sphere, your center of influence, prospecting for new business, door knocking, going to local events, anything that you know is going to be a repeatable, sustainable platform for your business to grow, continue on with that and work as hard as you can to build it and grow it. That's my advice for 2018.
Excellent. And Omar, I've heard this said before. You probably agree with this, that burnout isn't necessarily a function of hard work. It's a function of being dispersed and distracted and not having a plan. So I'm sure you'd agree with that. A lot of people
Absolutely.
work really hard and they work hard in circles. So really good advice.
Well,
Do we have any questions? Oh, go ahead.
One thing I'll add to that really quickly, Jeff, is if you're failing to plan for your day, your week, your month, your year, that's when the burnout starts. That's when burnout can happen.
That's when you plan to fail, I've heard.
Absolutely.
All right. Cool. All right. Do we have any questions?
All right. No, we do not have any questions. I think everybody's just making their plans right now.
Great. Well, pretty surprising with such a large group that we don't have a few questions, but I'll tell you what, if you do have questions, be sure to direct them to your broker, because we have such a great body of knowledge here, and I want to thank each of the brokers for participating. I kind of pulled on them for their expertise, and I'm so grateful that they were all here and able to jump in. So thank you, gentlemen and lady brokers, and all the best to you for a great 2018.
All right. Well, with that being said, I think implementation and consistency are what I got out of that, and I think we all need to be reminded of those two words, especially in our industry. So that wraps up another California Brokers Business Accelerator. Thank you again for joining us, and to our esteemed California brokers, have a great day and thank you.